Hi, I'm Judy Green and welcome to Natchat. Today we're going to be talking about mind and body, and I'd like to welcome Paul Mracek to our show. So welcome, Paul.
Hi, thanks Judy. Thanks for having me.
So mind and body, I know for a long time I've really been doing a lot of work in regards to myself in this area. So was your first introduction to, was it self-discovery, or could you please tell me?
Yeah, it was a combination of things that got me into it to start off with. I was working long hours in a corporate role and doing a lot of things that everyone does, not having enough time for home. I had a period for a couple of years where I missed all the birthdays, my anniversaries, and I was never home. I was always away every couple of weeks. And the issue that I found was I wasn't having balance in what I was doing, and it really became an issue of making sure that I had mind and body balance in what I was doing with work and with my personal home life at the same time.
And so you said for a long time, like are we talking years, months?
Yeah, years. Unfortunately, my wife would tell you it was for years.
So did your wife sort of give you the ultimatum, or?
Let's just say that she very strongly hinted that I needed to make some changes, and she was right. I really did need to make those changes for my own personal health as well.
And did you immediately feel that she was right, or you sort of thought about it? And
I think it's like most things. When someone makes a good suggestion to you, you think about it, and then you realise the error of your ways, and then you progress with those particular areas. And what I found is that I was focusing on the things that I didn't want more than what I did want. So it's really an issue of your perception about what you're
when you say you were focused more on what you didn't want, like what do you mean?
My mindset was one of scarcity. I always felt that I didn't have enough time to do things.
Okay.
I didn't have enough energy to do things. So from that perspective, my focus was always on the other things that I didn't have rather than what I did have. And that's what balance is about. Balance is really about three key elements, really. It's not just mind and body, but there's a third element which most people miss, which is energy. So you really need to have sufficient amount of energy to be able to do the things that you need to do.
So is that to do with nutrition? You know, like for the viewers at home, like all of that meaning nutrition, what else to help you have the energy to sustain moving ahead and fitting more into your life, I guess, which is what we're trying to do.
Correct. The three elements being mindset really is where you talk about clarity and purpose, about the things that you need to have in your life.
Now, how do you come to that? Because most of us would think, well, what do I want in my life? I think that's the first big problem most of us have.
It is, and that really comes from your values and your beliefs. So what your values and your beliefs are really the things that focus on where you get for clarity and purpose. So what do you want in your life? What are the values that are driving those issues for you? And what beliefs that you have from that and the information that you get.
And I also think, like for us in marriages or important relationships, it's also trying to find the balance to share. So as a couple, you sort of growing together, not apart. So I guess in instances when you work with people now married, do you usually see the couples together or separately, or how does that work?
You need to be doing it as a couple. Firstly, it's a bit like when you fly on an aeroplane and the oxygen mask falls down, and then you have to put the mask on yourself before you put the mask on the other people. So you really need to understand what's right for you first.
Which I must, on that point, it always feels strange, but they say you have to look after yourself first, don't they?
Correct. So you need to look after yourself and understand what you want, and then once you do that, then you can talk to your partner, and then look at what's necessary for you and your partner to then develop going forward. So that, from clarity and purpose from a mindset position, is important. The energy side is actually two aspects of energy. One is potential energy and one is kinetic energy. And potential energy is really...
But just one sec. So it was purpose first, and the second one was that body. Clarity.
So that's under your mindset. So when you talk about mind, you need to have a purpose, and then you need to be clear about what that purpose is about. And then before you get into body, which is related to action, you need to be thinking about the energy side. It's actually like the mortar that holds two bricks together. Without that, you don't get the gel between the two to give you the balance that most people are looking for.
Because I can imagine people think, okay, I have my goals or my purpose, but in a lot of cases people even think they have the energy to move forward, but they actually don't. so their goals are too large than what they can physically actually ever do. Oh, well, I wouldn't say ever do.
Yeah,
okay, you correct me. You know,
but I think from the point of view of that, it's really, I mean, how do you move a mountain? You do it one rock at a time. So it's great to have large goals and what you want to achieve. The issue is how much do you do step by step. People try to do big chunks and then they have problems with that, they don't succeed. So doing those things step by step and understanding what steps need to be done are really important, and that goes the difference between, you know, what's important versus urgent. Do what the things which are important rather than being persuaded or shifted away because of urgent things which may not be important for what you need to do. So they're those things add to that aspect of it. The energy side of it, as I said, is really twofold. One is to have energy to be mentally fit and have energy to be physically fit.
Right.
And that's the two elements for it. So that's what I call, to be mentally fit, I call potential energy, which is really the passion that you have when you wake up in the morning. What are you going to do and feel really great about what you're going to do about your life.
Which, if someone's gung-ho, as it sounds like you're an alcoholic, a workaholic. I didn't mean that.
I'm not the other way.
No, yes, a workaholic. So to be able to switch, so obviously there must have been some change in the sort of work you were doing before you could balance then the family life with the work. So
I had to make a physical shift in my perception of things, yeah. So I got into meditation, I did a lot of meditation. I found
now, to do with meditation, sorry to keep slowing you down, you're going 100 miles an hour, because even as far as meditation, like we all know meditation, and actually I guess people don't always even know that means, that can mean, or you know, you tell me, sitting in a quiet corner, you're supposed to sit in the lotus position. I mean, what was meditation to you back when you started the change?
Meditation is a process. For me, a process I found. It starts off with breathing correctly. That allows you to be calm.
How do you know if you're breathing correctly?
Making sure that you get full breaths. Most people breathe only in the subsection area here, and you need to be able to deepen that so that it goes into deep breaths. But as long as that you receive a calm and you become calm in your body, then you can then relax.
So is this just while you're meditating, or the whole day?
You can do that for the whole day. It's a bit like what I call walking meditation.
Okay.
Not to be necessarily done while you're driving cars, of course. If you go calm and start meditating, you could have a problem when you're driving your car. But once you become calm, you can relax, and once you relax, you can then concentrate.
Okay, I want to talk a bit more about meditation before we cover the other
areas. That is part of meditation. That's the process going up to meditation.
I see.
Then once you're able to concentrate, you can contemplate, and once you contemplate, you can meditate.
Okay, so we're just going to go to a quick break, and I want to continue this. It's very interesting. So, if you're watching Natchat, stay with us, and I'll be back with Paul after this short break.